Good afternoon, and welcome to this important webinar sponsored by Enterprise Group. It's my pleasure to be your Master of Ceremonies today. My name is Jennifer Martin. I'm President and CEO of Junior Achievement, Northern Alberta and Northwest Territories. And you may ask, why is the head of a nonprofit emceeing this corporate launch? Well, Junior Achievement teaches youth entrepreneurship, along with work readiness and money management. And Enterprise Group is located in the heart of the oil patch with our JA chapter. And as you will see today, is also phenomenally entrepreneurial. And finally, they are also supporting JA programs for youth to help us prepare those kids as the next labor force and entrepreneurial leaders. So we have some things in common. Again, welcome to this important presentation by Enterprise Group. The company is listed on the TSX under the single letter symbol E. Enterprise holds 4 subsidiaries that provide specialized infrastructure services to the resource sector, primarily in Western Canada. With a more than 15-year history, Enterprise continues to grow. It has secured a large and growing client base, including over 20 global top-tier resource companies with significant operations in Canada's West. Today, we welcome Enterprise Senior Vice President Des O'Kell and Heather Johnston, President of the company we are here to launch, Evolution Power Projects, a wholly owned subsidiary of the Enterprise Group. Evolution is headquartered in Fort St. John, BC. Today's format will be concise and include comments by Mr. O'Kell from the enterprise perspective, as well as the details of the why and wherefore of evolution provided by Mrs. Johnston. A short question and answer period will follow the presentation. The presentation will also be recorded and available in many places, including Enterprise's YouTube channel. So very simply, Enterprise, through evolution, has developed a system of replacing electrification powered by diesel fuel with natural gas, which, as you may know, reduces CO2 emissions by over 30%, along with many other climate-friendly characteristics. Ms. Johnston has remarked that Evolution Power electrical microgrids provide enough clean fuel power to support all infrastructure safely and consistently on-site, using a single generator. Power is carried around the site's perimeter, providing access points with distribution panels conveniently located well outside high traffic areas. Enterprise believes that shareholders and investors should make no mistake. Evolution is the leader in electrification by natural gas, and following the presentation, the company and Evolution are confident that you will agree. I would now like to introduce, in order of speaking, Mr. Des O'Kell, Senior Vice President and co-founder of Enterprise, and Heather Johnston, President of Evolution Power Projects, an Enterprise Group company. Des.
Thank you, Jennifer. Well, welcome to our webinar and official launch of Evolution Power Projects. Enterprise Group is a premier supplier of critical site infrastructure for Canada's energy and industrial sectors. Through our 4 subsidiaries, we supply the necessary mobile building structures, power systems, lighting, heating, communication towers, everything our clients need to operate remotely, sometimes in very frontier-like regions. Enterprise subsidiaries are Hart Oilfield Rentals, operating 3 branches in the natural gas-rich foothills trend in Alberta, supplying site infrastructure to top-tier producers. Arctic Therm International, an IP-rich provider of flameless heating technology, boasting units capable of producing 500,000 to 3 million BTUs and airflow of up to 15,000 CFM. Westar Oilfield Rentals, based in Fort St. John, Westar supplies site infrastructure to northeastern BC's energy and mining sectors. Evolution Power Projects, also headquartered in northeastern BC, Evolution is currently a provider of low-emission, mobile power systems and associated surface infrastructure to the energy, resource, and industrial sectors. The company continues to innovate and develop new methods to consistently deliver to its clients low-emission and potentially zero-emission power systems. Evolution systems are equipped to provide real-time emissions metrics, delivering to its clients the assurances necessary for them to accomplish their ESG reporting and objectives. We will be doing another one of these types of connections, webinars, town hall style, after our Q1 release in the middle of May. So we hope you will join us at that next town hall. At this moment, I would like to introduce to you the president of Evolution Power Projects, Heather Johnson. Heather.
Thank you for joining Des and I as we share our efforts over the past 15 months and introduce Evolution Power Projects to our audience and the resource industry. Operational since 2011 under JPSI Rentals, Enterprise Group recently acquired the company. Evolution, a subsidiary of the Enterprise Group of companies, today enters the natural gas-powered electrification space, facilitating the introduction of a unique group of services to their growing list of clients, including over 20 global top-tier developers. Electrification, specifically low-carbon mobile power systems, is a complementary and innovative product offering in significant demand in the current low-carbon economy. Over the past 11 years, Evolution has developed a significant client base, but with the accretive growth through this acquisition will allow us to extend our service area into most of British Columbia, Alberta, and Saskatchewan. Further to the geographic expansion, Enterprise Group has provided critical logistics support, management expertise, capital investment, and shared proprietary fleet management software, which has been instrumental in the development and expansion of the product line this past year, allowing Evolution to become the premier source for microgrid technology in Western Canada. Evolution Power Projects is a low-carbon power systems provider, designing and delivering electrical microgrids powered by natural gas. Our concept-to-completion approach to site planning allows for the design of a tailored, efficient power grid in even the most remote and rugged terrains, eliminating fuel waste and optimizing amperage to reduce emission outputs. Our systems are displacing diesel with cleaner, greener natural gas systems and sustainable options where feasible every day. Our technology is changing the landscape of portable power and raising the bar on expectations and accountability when it comes to emission reductions. In the resource sector, consideration needs to be given to power needs at every stage of the extraction process, as wells are rarely located within proximity of city limits or high-line power options. It is common practice for many infrastructure companies and ancillary service providers to be responsible for their own power sources. This situation leads to multiple generator usage and widespread inefficiency and fuel waste. Evolution's electrical microgrids provide enough clean fuel power to support all infrastructure safely and consistently on site with one singular generator. Power is now carried around the perimeter of site, as you can view in the diagram behind me, providing access points as distribution panels conveniently located outside of the high traffic area. Site power is now as simple as an outlet and a plug, much like the power outlets in our homes. Evolution microgrids are fueled with cleaner, more efficient natural gas, which is abundant in Western Canada. In many cases, the power grid can be supplied with source gas owned by our customers directly from fuel lines, eliminating trucking and the cost of fuel entirely. The benefits of our systems are not limited to cost reductions alone. They extend to operational efficiency, elimination of fuel spill risk, increased safety with the decrease of fuel transport trucks, fewer maintenance hours, and increased production times. Microgrids significantly reduce noise pollution and create a more palatable work site for everyone. The streamlined grid is positioned outside of high traffic areas, and in general, the product line consisting of both lighting products and distribution components has a much smaller footprint, allowing for improved maneuverability on site and a much tidier site plan. To explain the total relevancy of our product line without providing a brief frame of reference to the Canadian carbon landscape is impossible, and how that has guided our product development and successes over the past decade. Evolution has always had a goal of assisting our customers to develop efficiencies and reduce emission sources. The scope and scale of our projects are growing, and demand is increasing each year. With a 2050 net zero goal and a carbon taxation rate set to reach $170 per ton by 2030, carbon is a hot topic and an expensive one. Top industrial emitters operate within a cap-and-trade system where sectoral specific benchmarks are set, and if they exceed their maximum greenhouse gas emissions, they are penalized. This cap-and-trade system promotes an offset credit trading approach where emitters pay for what they cannot reduce or eliminate. On the heels of London's COP26 conference, global leaders called for action from governmental agencies and the financial world to invest in low carbon solutions and assist with the financing of the expensive technology needed to overcome the climate crisis. We see the effects of these ploys take shape in the form of deployment of funding, tax incentives and rebates, research and development grants, private and public capital opportunities, and widespread financing for projects, many with measurable environmental impacts like carbon capture and utilization, combined fuel and hydrogen, heat recirculation and cogeneration, methane elimination, battery solutions, fuel cells, and sustainable options including solar and wind. All of these factors contribute to a resource sector committed to lowering emissions, making critical technology development possible and driving forward the energy transition in an intensive and focused way. Most recently, the new federal climate plan announced this month demands 42% emissions reductions from 2019 rates, with a reliance on the oil and gas industry to do much of the heavy lifting and continuing to propel their reduction efforts and achieve targets sooner than originally expected. The first step of the energy transition is a fuel switch from oil-based fuels like diesel and gasoline to a cleaner alternative like natural gas. Natural gas isn't just an alternative, though. It is a considerable advancement. On an energy equivalent basis, natural gas is more efficient, contains 30% less carbon dioxide, 70 to 90% less carbon monoxide, 89% less volatile organic compounds, and 99% less sulfur dioxide. At Evolution, we see it as our role to not only deliver the very best power generation services and products, but to advocate for the displacement of diesel everywhere possible. Second, deployment. The responsibility to source the most environmentally responsible products and service solutions should be the responsibility of everyone throughout the supply chain. Advancements flow from the bottom up, not just the top down. And the race to reduce emissions is fast-paced with no room for idle processes. Evolution plans and has begun to introduce many impactful solutions, and in the coming years will assist customers, small and global, in reaching greenhouse gas reduction targets. The company is committed to following environmental science, legislation, technology advancements, and our customers' directives to ensure relevance in the new and permanent low-carbon economy. Evolution's product offerings are growing to accommodate large-scale, longer-term projects while continuing to develop and improve microgrid technology. With new capital to support this expansion, an intensive list of internal supports, and strong leadership presence, Evolution Power Projects is entering the natural gas jet turbine generator space, accelerating growth to encompass multi-megawatt power projects across industry. Although the energy sector has been our formative industry, microgrid technology has a relevancy across many applications. If you have a look at the screen here, you can see some of the various cross-industry applications and a few visual layouts which we have prepared. Jennifer?
Thanks very much. We will be taking questions, so please forward any questions that you may have by way of the text function, and we will try to get to them all. Otherwise, you are also welcome to contact either executive who presented here today offline to discuss the initiative and your particular power needs. So as we get started with the Q&A, Heather, I can kick things off. First of all, what benefits can shareholders expect to see from this announcement?
The company intends to contribute significantly to the overall revenue growth of the enterprise group, while being a major resource to navigate the changing greenhouse gas and carbon concerns of the growing client base. We hold the first mover advantage, and we will carry on with the momentum we have presently.
And with this expansion announcement, you will be looking to attract opportunities, I'm assuming, from outside enterprises' legacy infrastructure offerings. Do you expect that the technology will be as well received outside of oil and gas as within that sector? And further to that, are other industries facing the same decarbonization pressures?
That is a great question. As I mentioned earlier, the top tier emitters are being legislated for emissions above threshold volumes, but it is clear that the legislation will continue to develop and accountability reporting standards will emerge for all industrial emitters in time. Carbon auditing models take a very comprehensive approach to metrics with a well-to-wheel design that asks project planners to closely examine their electrical grids and report emissions. This scrutiny will be incorporated into all projects that are requiring carbon footprint measurement, particularly carbon offset projects and those seeking participation in some of the funding avenues opening up for green financing. We are very excited to have these conversations and actively partake in the planning processes.
And Heather, you also touched on some of the technologies being utilized in your microgrids. Can you elaborate at all on the technology that you are using or future plans?
Yes, our microgrid technology at present is supporting the fuel switch transition to displace diesel while presenting clients with adequate and resilient power generation products to achieve their goals. But we will also be incorporating various new technologies into our product line that lead into the next phase of the energy transition, specifically battery power, carbon capture utilization, and cogeneration. The future looks very bright and ultimately leads to the achievement of our shared net zero goals.
All right, thank you. And I think we do have some questions coming in, so I will bring up Des, who will bring the questions to me.
Yeah.
I'll step away so that you can maybe help Heather answer them.
Certainly. Yeah, we thank you. We've had a few questions come through. One of them I'll answer. Customers have announced large increases in oil capex. Have you seen an uptick of inquiries from new and current clients? The answer is yes. We felt a increase in activities midway through 2021. I think some of our numbers that we've announced have showed a trajectory of that happening halfway through 2021. We are experiencing activity increases into 2022. Our clients have announced CapExes mostly in December and January. We've seen increases between 20 and 200% from the industry. So we do expect 2022 to continue in this trajectory, and we'll definitely be enjoying the added activity. Question number 2, I think, Heather, this one you can answer. How does carbon taxation and carbon credits affect enterprises' business, specifically the new Evolution subsidiary?
Okay, yes. When you're looking at the carbon activity that is happening, you know, there's two approaches. There is if if the top tier emitters are exceeding their threshold volumes, they're penalized, they're paying for that. And if you have producers that are able to come in underneath the thresholds that have been set for them, then those emitters are creating credits which are of real valuable. They are a trading program. They are an asset that is quite new and is going to be a globally traded asset in the coming years.
Thank you. Third question here. I think I'll take this one. You had a section on crypto mining. How big do you see the potential for that? It's an interesting development, the crypto mining, and really where there's a need for our power systems is there are an increased amount of stranded or gas production happening in many regions, some of them frontier, that are not getting to market. There's plenty of production in those areas, and there's opportunities to take that natural gas, create power on site, on those very remote sites, and bring mobile buildings or maybe even permanent structures of crypto mining equipment. So we do see that as definitely an opportunity that is it's approaching us at a pretty good rate. Question number 4. I'll take this one. With this new initiative, will Enterprise Group require additional funding via equity raise in the near future? At the moment, we've been in very good financial condition to do this retooling to natural gas generation on site. We've been doing our retooling over the last year and a half. We've been doing it with obviously cash flow. We don't expect to do any equity raises in any immediate time frame, but the future and how intensive this retooling and expansion of our fleet we'll likely keep that as an open opportunity. At this point, I hang on. We might. That's the end of questions from the administrator. Jennifer, if I can ask you to.
Absolutely.
You bet.
Thank you. Well, thank you all for your attendance and attention. You will find this webinar on Enterprise Group's YouTube channel using the search function. Congratulations to Enterprise Group on this exciting launch, and thank you for supporting junior achievement as we develop this generation of young people right now into your next dynamic workforce. When companies do well, investment back into the communities in which they operate always makes sense. So congratulations to everyone here today. Thank you to those who attended, and enjoy the rest of your day.